Now, we've been speaking about the ongoing situation in Ukraine today and the likelihood of Vladimir Putin invading. What is the military role? What is the role of diplomacy? I'm delighted to be joined now by the chair of the Commons Defence Select Committee, Conservative Member of Parliament, Tobias Ellwood. Tobias, good of you to join us once again. Thank you very much indeed. We've already spoken to Mark Liddell-Grant and also Mike Graydon from the Royal Air Force and from the Foreign Affairs Select Committee, Liam Byrne. Just two quick points from those conversations. Interestingly, Mark Liddell-Grant said diplomacy can still avert war, and in a sense, Putin's already won by becoming the focus of the conversation. Has he got a point there?
Oh, 100%. I mean, we can't avert war through diplomacy because what have we got leverage on the table? We have a thoroughfare of ministers from all right across Europe going to Moscow. But what's our leverage? We have no way of persuading Russia or influencing Russia in any form. And they are enjoying, as you imply, their time in the limelight. They want to be taken seriously. Putin remains angry that the Soviet Union collapsed, and he blames the West for that. His long-term objective, which we're not really waking up to, is to pivot Russia towards China. Any sanctions that we then impose after an invasion will actually help him win his argument with his own people, that's the direction of travel. We're in for a bumpy couple of decades now. International security is on the demise. I've made that very clear. You and I have discussed that, on this program. The world is changing very, very fast indeed. Threats are diversifying. We need to be spending more money on defense. And now we see a European democracy about to be invaded, and the West is, left, wondering what's going on. We really need to do better than this. We've become too risk averse.
Air Marshal Mike Graydon said that he believes, although diplomacy is trying very hard, he thinks it will come to force. Do you actually agree, Tobias? Do you believe that we have to militarily defeat Putin?
Well, it's not defeating Putin, and it's standing up and defending democracy. This is what we're mixing up here. This is a European democracy, Ukraine, putting its hand up and saying, please, the rest of Europe, help me in my hour of need. And we're watching by. We've moved our tanks and our forces all around Ukraine, but not in it. And that's not the language that Putin understands. He takes advantage of weakness. He exploits it. He respects strength. We should have sent a division into Ukraine months ago. We should be putting in a no-fly zone now. There are massive consequences for allowing this to happen. There's talk of Munich. Ben Wallace has been speaking about this. Look what happened there when we hesitated and we ceded control of parts of Europe. Where did that all end? The world is changing fast. The West is looking too risk averse. America is nowhere to be seen. And normally, when America steps back, absents itself from the international stage, that's when Britain steps up to the plate, has that convening power, has that hard power to rally others to stand up against the adversary. That's what I want to see now.
When I read Ben Wallace's comments in the Sunday Times coverage this morning and then read your piece in the Telegraph about all of this, a cold chill went through me, because you say the West lacks leadership, it lacks resolve. The leader in the Telegraph says we're in moral decline almost. And along comes Ben Wallace, Secretary of State for Defence, basically accusing the leaders of the West of just nodding through a deal that is Munich. It was a cave into Hitler. Is it that bad?
It is. And, I feel really sorry for my friend Ben Wallace. They can't say this. The MOD can't say this. But, they're tied by the political direction that's granted by number 10. But, boy, I know that they would like to do a lot more privately. They would absolutely. There's a gap in the market for international leadership that Britain could step into. But all the leading nations in Europe are looking in different ways. And Putin is taking full advantage of that. We can do much better than this. We really can. But it requires better situational awareness. It requires better statecraft to muster the forces that are actually required to stand up to Putin. And then he will blink. There's no doubt about it. This is our Cuban Missile Crisis. And, we are blinking ourselves.
Sir Nick Soames' birthday boy yesterday was on the programme. We chatted about all sorts of things, but one of the things that, again, you and I have talked about this before, is how important it is to have men and women who've served in uniform in the House of Commons. And he said it was good that Ben was an ex-Hussar, that you and Tom Tugendhat also are men who wore uniform. Let me put this to you, though, and it's completely the opposite side of that coin. Are you guys actually collectively saber rattling a little bit? You quite fancy this?
That's, completely wrong. To suggest that, is almost an insult, actually. The purpose of what you learn at Sandhurst is not only to understand our own strengths, but also to understand the direction of travel of your adversary. And it is very, very clear. I can't spell it out any clearer than this. Russia and China are forming a very dangerous alliance. And the reason why Russia is on the advance right now is because Russia knows they've got China to support them. And the West has never been more risk averse since 1991. And Russia and both China are taking advantage of that. This isn't saber rattling. This is a European country, Ukraine, calling for help. And where is the West? Nowhere to be seen.
Tobias Ellwood, I didn't mean to insult you. I just meant to report what was there in the open conversation. And as ever, straight question, straight answer. Great to see you. You're welcome anytime. Thank you very much indeed for finding time for us here on GB News.
Thank you very much.